I'm delighted to introduce next Teresa Yu, Vice President of Brand and Content Strategy at IBM. Terry leads a multidisciplinary team of brand, messaging, and content strategists. She is responsible for translating IBM's business and marketing strategy to best resonate with IBM's many clients, partners, and prospects. Her team focuses much of their work on developing deep understanding of IBM's target audiences to identify and map best ways to engage them, and as she'll discuss today, to also earn their trust. Please join in me in welcoming Terry.
Hey, everybody. It's great to be here today with you. I thought I'd start by just talking about the word brand. Brand is a powerful word. It evokes lots of different things for lots of different people. If I surveyed you right now, I'd probably get a bunch of different answers of what defines a brand. Some people say it's a logo. Some people say it's a marketing campaign. Some people say it's products or businesses. But I think at its heart, brand is a trust agreement. It's a living, breathing promise between your organization and everyone it touches. It's an unspoken contract that says, this is who we are. This is what we stand for. This is what you can expect from us every single time. And when your actions consistently match your promises, when what you say aligns perfectly with what you do, those are the elements of having a strong brand. Now, AI introduces a new variable to this equation. And as marketers, we're navigating how AI will transform not just how we work, but how it changes the very nature of brand relationships themselves. And this brand trust dynamic is something that we need to critically examine in the AI era. Deloitte did a study in 2024 that found that 94% of organizations are now working with generative AI in some way. Well, let me survey with a show of hands. How many of you are already using Gen AI in the work? Yeah, see, matches the survey. But while we're all rapidly adopting the technology, consumers are really not so sure about it. A Gartner study found that 64% of customers said they would prefer that companies didn't use AI in customer service. So this highlights a potential disconnect between business enthusiasm and consumer trust. I believe that brands that will stand out in this era simply won't just be the ones with the most advanced AI capabilities. They'll be the ones that have thoroughly integrated AI in ways that deepen rather than diminish this brand trust relationship between customers, employees, and organizations. And let me give you a couple examples to sort of illustrate what I mean by this. This example just happened last month. I don't know, how many of you know this company, Cursor? They provide AI-powered code editing for developers. And they recently experienced what might be called an AI coup. The AI agent that does customer support changed a policy on its own. So developers like to use multiple devices when they're developing. They kind of move between devices. Well, the agent decided that's not okay. You can only be logged in on one device at a time. And when developers discovered this, they were obviously really annoyed because it disrupted their workflow. But it caused a whole conversation in hacker forums and on Reddit. And a lot of people left Cursor because they found that was so disruptive. The other thing, ironically, is their whole business is based on AI assistance and what you do. And their customer service agent kind of proved out that it's not so trusted, in terms of how it operates. So that's a bad example. The next example I think is kind of promising. I don't know, is anyone here from Visa? Or does anyone have a Visa card? I'm sure many of you do. Well, Visa, their CEO announced, I think just last week, that they are planning to provide AI agents that can shop for you. It's a real innovation, I think, that's really interesting. So you set a budget, let it know what your preferences are, and if you want to buy a sweater or weekly groceries, it can go search out and find the best prices for that. And I think it's really interesting because when you think of scenarios like purchasing stock, this is how people buy and sell stock today. They set a price, and they say, when it hits that price, I want you to sell. When it hits that price, I want you to buy, right? What if you could do that with things you buy every day? And Visa is really leaning into this concept, and they're also standing behind it as well. So part of how they're promoting it is how they make sure it's you, and that they will stand behind and protect you if some of the transactions go wrong, which is critical to their brand. So, I think this is a great opportunity ahead for us as marketers and leaders of brand. There's opportunities for personalization, like Mark talked about earlier, for more responsive and accurate customer service, for predicting what your customers need and want. But you have to be really thoughtful about your choices. And the technology alone is not enough. And so your brand can become an important decision-making, a framework for AI, and you yourself can play an important role representing the customer and representing your brand. And it's important for you to be there as strategic decisions are getting made. So you might ask questions like, does this way of using AI detract or add to our brand promise? Right? Does it align with who we say we are? Is it authentic to you? At IBM, we think about this a lot because we're both a technology provider and a technology adopter, right? So we're using AI a lot, and our brand has been built over a century for being trusted and reliable as a technology partner for large enterprises and business clients. So we apply software, consulting, cloud infrastructure to run their most critical business operations. And so today, our focus primarily is in helping them adopt AI to transform how they do work and operate efficiently and do it in a way that aligns to their brands. And we build and provide the AI tools and agents and models and computing infrastructure that will advance the next generation of enterprise AI. And our approach is to do this in an open way. So it integrates well with all of our clients' data and their existing systems, but also so that it's transparent. And the other aspect of this, too, that's really interesting is that our CEO, Arvind Krishna, has also set a very aggressive goal for IBM to be an example itself, to adopt this technology in the way we work and how we do HR, IT operations, procurement, finance, marketing. And so far, this effort has generated, over the past 2 years, $3.5 billion in savings in the way we've applied AI to IBM. Now, fundamentals for us are really important given how accurate and trusted and reliable we need to be. And I love this quote from Mikhail Baryshnikov: fundamentals are the building blocks of fun. When you have the fundamentals, you can be more creative, you can be more innovative. I think that's what he meant by that. And I think for us, fundamentals have been the building blocks for accelerating AI innovation at IBM in ways that are aligned to our brand. And because AI is advancing so rapidly and breakthroughs are happening every day, one of the things that has really helped us in the speed of our internal adoption is focusing on a few things that really ground us. And I thought I'd walk you through a few of these things today and talk about how they've made a difference. First, we take AI and data governance really seriously because it provides the guardrails for how we both develop and apply AI. The centerpiece of this is IBM's AI Ethics Board. It was founded in 2019, and it provides governance and decision-making on how we develop, deploy, and use AI. It helps us maintain consistency with our company values and our purpose. The board is composed of a multidisciplinary set of leaders representing product marketing, legal, research, consulting, HR, sales, marketing, communications, just to name a few. I'm actually a member of that board. It meets every month regularly. And then there are, in addition to that, 2 to 3 use case meetings where we vet different use cases of AI, both internally and externally with our clients. And it's a very active, serious board that really is a big part of what helps us guide our actions going forward. And a big part of our mission is internal education also. The board and the company operates with a core set of principles on trust and transparency that underpin everything that we do, including the technology we design and develop. We also believe that building trust in AI also requires global collaboration. And so the leaders of the board also participate in forums with other companies and governments to share a point of view and to help shape thinking and policy. Data is also essential for AI. Obviously, you can't have AI without data. And so our governance also includes rigorous data clearance, data quality, data provenance standards that feed our AI models. And we're unique because we're one of the only few companies in the world that indemnifies the models that we build. And we stand behind them because we know exactly what data goes in them. We've also been actively working towards increasing the AI literacy and skills of our workforce at IBM. Since 2023, we've been working on educating and activating our entire workforce, not just the technical community, everyone. And so we're all comfortable with AI and conversant in it. It includes online self-paced training that's been developed, and it's continually refreshed, just to give all employees opportunities to learn on their own. But to really kick it off, we have invited the entire workforce to participate in AI challenges, what we call watsonx challenges, because our AI platform is called watsonx. The challenges are internal events. They're both virtual and in person, and they're designed to give employees hands-on experiences with AI, and they're given access to tools, platforms, and data to work with. And there's a little bit of a competitive aspect to it. Teams can self-assemble or they're matched together in the platform. And we're asked to develop new ideas and to develop them. We've done this for a couple years in a row. The first year in 2023 was really about focusing on education and experimentation. Over 158,000 IBMers from 75 countries participated in that session in 2023. In 2024, we had 178,000 employees participate, and that focus was actually on building AI applications. And by the end of that, 70% of the participants felt they had created something that we could use every day, which was incredible. And then this year, we're planning on focusing the challenge around AI agents and agentic AI. So the major benefit of all of these efforts is that our employees feel they have permission to try, to learn, to innovate with AI, which is really, really important because I don't know how it is in your organizations today, but sometimes you don't know. Is it okay that I use ChatGPT to do something? Is it not? What are the limitations? We've kind of set those boundaries. Design is a really important area of focus for us also. We have a very extensive design language at IBM for our products and our digital experiences. But we've recently added a new framework for designing for AI for our product team so they deliver consistent and high quality AI experiences. Core to this effort is to always be transparent to our users on when AI is at work for them. And so we use design to enhance their understanding and confidence also in how it works. A key design element to it is a universal AI label that was created that provides that consistent identification of when AI is there. And then also a standard explainability popover that provides information for users on how the AI generated that response or insight in an application or a product. The team has also focused a lot of effort in the design of a consistent standard chat interface and natural language-based experiences, since for now they are the dominant way most people are interacting with Gen AI applications. And together, these elements are part of a growing system of AI-specific design components that are being implemented across the company overall. So those three things, AI and data governance, education, skills, comfort, confidence, and then having the tools to actually represent how we build AI with design has helped us as we've embarked on transforming how we do marketing with AI. So things like governance, skills, design might seem like things that are boring or that might slow you down. But it's actually been the opposite for us. It's really helped, given us a strong foundation to work from to accelerate how we apply AI and how we do marketing. And we have looked at, really examined what's the best place to start. And we are really focused on areas where we struggle with scale. Where we just don't have enough people and time to do all that we want to do across marketing. And we're really focused on creative productivity. When you think about the sheer volume of content a company has to produce, especially a company of our size and scale, it's a lot. Work starts to grow beyond the capabilities of any team. So imagine a company that has roughly 100 products. When you multiply the number of assets needed for a multi-channel campaign, so assume that you need 25, it's 2,500 assets that you now have to produce. Multiply that number by the hundreds of thousands. Once you start to get to personalization, no one has the resource capacity or the budget to really scale to that level. And at IBM, scale is our biggest challenge. To just give you some examples, in 1 year, IBM produces 10 million marketing emails. The brand team receives 10,000 requests for guidance on the brand. We create and update more than 1,000 blogs. It's a lot. And so we have set out actually to create what we call a creative assistant for us to really scale what we do using those foundations. And so we've been using our data standards to select appropriate sources for those AI tools. And we're applying our design language and our design standards also in that assistant. And we also have a library of rich media and content that we created. That's another source for our AI tools. And finally, we're fortunate because we have our own technology and AI models, and those of our partners to lean on. So with all of those ingredients, we created an AI creative assistant, and I thought I'd show you kind of what we built. Not that I think it's the best thing in the world, but it shows you kind of what we've done with the hopes that maybe you can compare to what you've done, and I'd love to hear what you all are building for your organizations as well. So let me go ahead and play this for you.
Introducing IBM Creative Assistant, an AI tool built with watsonx that accelerates the creation of brand-compliant blogs, emails, social posts, and other marketing assets. Let's take a look at our internal beta version to see how it works. Here you see a list of IBM products. Creative Assistant has been trained on each and can answer questions and generate content by referencing the vetted claims, key value propositions, and other pertinent information it's ingested. Pose a question to Product Assistant, the AI assistant within the tool, and it quickly generates a concise answer and provides reference links for further discovery. With the email generator, you can draft multi-topic emails in just a few clicks. Simply select a template, add reference links to blog posts, for example, and indicate how many options you'd like. Click Generate, and Creative Assistant produces copy for each section of the email and pulls images from a predefined library. Once you've made your selections, you can preview the email and download it for revision or review. To use the blog generator, input a topic or multiple topics and add images. Creative Assistant quickly produces a detail-rich blog post. You can regenerate or download and revise. The social media generator works in much the same way. The templates guide you toward content tailor-made for specific social platforms. Just follow the prompts, and Creative Assistant does the heavy lifting. Feel free to tinker with the AI-generated copy. Voila, you've got a great post. Creative Assistant also helps generate large quantities of engaging DCO banners. Input source material for each phase of the marketing journey, and Creative Assistant delivers a range of options. Creative Assistant empowers our strategists, copywriters, designers, and product marketers to bolster their productivity and devote more time to high-priority projects. Just imagine what an AI tool trained on your products and your brand standards can do for you.
So we built these capabilities in-house. This year we're rolling them out more broadly. So far it's been trained on 78 IBM products, and it's been used to produce more than 3,600 pieces of content in 6 months. And it's already reduced the time it takes to produce product content from days to hours. We're using it for client case study variations. We're using it for ad variations as well. And there's also new components adding to it, like initial legal reviews through the tool as well, so we can speed the process of the legal review process. Just to conclude, I think your brand should serve as an important guide for decision-making on how AI is applied with your organizations. Brands won't simply stand out won't simply just be those with the most advanced AI capabilities, like I said. The ones that have really thoughtfully integrated AI in ways that really deepen rather than diminish trust with your customers and your employees will be the ones that will be the winners. And I think a question to ask yourself is, how will you ensure that you're authentically embodying who you are and what you stand for in the way you are deploying AI? That's where I'm at. So thank you. And if you have any questions, I'm happy to answer them.
Hello.
Yeah.
First of all, greetings of the day. My name is Arya, and I come from University of New Haven. I have 2 questions. One is about, do you think that brand trust won't be trusted if people are aware about what comes under GDPR regulations and how much data is taken from them to personalize?
I think we were just talking about this last night at dinner. I think transparency is really important for data exchange with consumers. I think a lot of the distrust that's out there is because you feel like maybe you didn't realize what you were giving away. And I think the more open companies can be on what the value exchange is, the more open people will be to provide it for the value that they get. So I think that is just something to think about more. Of course, there's going to be regulation that all companies have to adhere to. But I think the transparency of value exchange is really important for brands. Yeah.
Am I audible? Okay.
Yeah.
Hi. Thanks for the insightful talk on brand as a custodian of trust. I'm curious to know your thoughts on, as AI agents come into the flow of brand interaction, both from the customer side and the brand side, what do you think is the direction of travel for that brand trust? Because, as you said, the productivity increases, but the agents may mediate that flow, so the customer may not actually interact with that content in the first place. So do you see that flow would change in future?
Because of agents.
Yeah, both sides playing the agent game. So the brand and the direct consumer may not have the significance of significance of interaction anymore.
I really think of agents as just a different technology way of delivering a technology capability more than anything else. I was watching a video the other day on that gave me an epiphany on how agents work. It was a developer that was showing a tutorial on how he was going to build a flow using 5 agents. And each agent was just a specialized bit of the workflow. This agent was going to go and get a certain kind of data. The other agent was going to take that data and then do a visualization of that. The final agent was, so there was a series of actions like that. Agents are not necessarily going to be like a giant agent autonomous that's going to be running around. Any kind of workflow or interaction that you have will probably be built by multiple agents, maybe hundreds of agents with multiple models being called on, accessing lots of different data sources. So it's another way of thinking about a new way of assembling applications and programming software is the way to think about it. So if you think about it that way, you just need to sort of manage your data, manage the technology a little bit differently than you would in the old paradigm where you were just actually coding everything from scratch. You still have to do all of the work to think about what is the interaction that you're actually building with this new sort of agentic way of building applications, but it's still an application at the end of the day. I don't know if that's helpful to answer your question.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you talked a little bit about how you're using this beta version of Creative Assistant internally.
Yeah.
What challenges have you faced with adoption, and what are the implications you think about potentially taking this to your clients?
I think the challenges are making sure that it actually delivers the outcomes that we're all looking for. And then getting people to try it and change their workflow. So I'll give you an example. We just did a new workflow for client stories. And our client stories team has been really struggling to sort of get assets out. So they have a bunch of good stories that they have in a repository, but they need to make multiple things with it. Once they started using the Creative Assistant and could easily make a presentation slide or a social post using that same client story, they were hooked. They didn't even need to be convinced to start using it. They wanted, what else are you going to give me in terms of features and functions? And so once you see the value of how it can transform things that you maybe struggled with or found mundane, even doing variations of ad copy can be nobody really wants to do that, actually. You want to conceive of the positioning of that product. That's the fun stuff. You want to conceive of how you're targeting, but you don't actually want to make 100 variations of DCO advertising for a product. So that is really just getting it functioning properly. And now we're in the phase where we're really pushing for adoption and usage right now. So.